Hey guys, welcome back to 19 Night Podcast. This is episode 4.
Yeah.
We made it 4 episodes
We're
now.
going to say that at the beginning of every episode.
Each episode. Yeah, we'll count the milestone as 10, so we won't say it again until 10.
I thought 5 would be a big deal.
Oh, okay, 5. So we'll say it next episode.
So today is something that is near and dear to my heart. We're going to be talking about mental health. Even before Corrin and I started the podcast, we had decided that this was something that we wanted to talk about. And I think it's also a great way to get to know, especially me, because anyone who knows me knows I deal with mental health. So we've got some facts. We're just going to talk about a few things. I will talk about my issues a little bit, and hopefully you can learn some things, or at least feel like you're not alone in this world if you are also suffering. So to start off, I was diagnosed with bipolar when I was 24, and I've been on a slew of medication in that 8 years. And then recently I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Is that, yeah? Okay. Yeah. And I'm still kind of on the fence about which one I think suits me more. I think I kind of fit into both of them for different reasons. So my diagnosis is a little bit up in the air right now.
Yeah, but I personally think that you definitely lean more towards the borderline personality disorder. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they both suit me because I would say one of my biggest issues is impulsivity. Yeah. And they both obviously deal with that.
Yeah, that could go either or.
Right.
But I think, like, when we looked at it before, like when you first got diagnosed with it, mm-hmm. and like we were Googling and stuff, and when you put like everything together, mm-hmm. it seems to like make a little bit more sense.
The thing about borderline though is that my psychiatrist had told me this was that one of the main things is anger. Like that's one of the big, right. Like explosive anger. And I would say I'm pissed off most of the time, but I wouldn't say I'm angry. Yeah. I mean, I don't blow up and have these huge fits. I really just get annoyed easily, which I think is anyone in this day and age. Yeah, it's very easy to get annoyed.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't consider you an angry person. Right.
Which is good. That's a good compliment to get.
Yeah.
I also suffer from panic attacks, anxiety disorder. So I'm kind of, wrapped up in a little bit of crazy is what I call it. I know not everyone likes the word crazy, but that's how I cope with it, by calling myself crazy. And it does suit me sometimes. You have to admit, crazy does suit me well. So like I said, we're going to get into some facts. Maybe Corrin will learn a couple of things tonight because Corrin is what I would say a more stable person. If she is emotional, she doesn't show it.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Virgo.
Oh my gosh.
No, but I am a Virgo, and I feel like that, like, I am a classic Virgo, and I don't have, really crazy, like, emotions. Right. Like, I'm not really, like, dramatic.
No. You could put that on my tombstone.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're also not, like, even sensitive. You might be behind closed doors, but to me, I can probably count on both my hands the amount of times I've seen you cry.
Right.
And remember we discussed when I was going through something really traumatic a couple years ago, I had said that was like the first time I had seen you cry since your dad passed away. It had been like 15 years since I had seen you cry.
Which, and I mean, I do cry more than that, obviously. Right.
You're not vocal about it.
Yeah, and I personally just find it awkward. Like, I don't know, like, emotions and, like, crying and, like, being vulnerable around people is awkward to me. Like, I feel uncomfortable about it. Like, I don't, like, when you're emotional or crying, like, to me, like, I don't find that awkward, like, when you're doing it. But, like, just for me personally doing it, I find it I don't know.
Right. No,
It's just awkward.
I can agree with that to some extent, but I'm an open book, so I don't really know a stranger when it comes to vulnerability.
Right.
I'm just out the door immediately like, hey, what's up? I'm going to cry in front of you a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, I'm more on the teeter-totter of emotions, and Corinne is more stable with them, so we'll see if she can learn a couple of things, or at the very least, she's a great support system.
Thank you.
She's been with me through all of my issues. So, if anyone can relate to mental health issues without actually suffering from them, it's Corrin.
Right.
So, why don't you go ahead with what you have?
Okay, so the first fact that I have here is that 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience mental illness, with 1 in 20 adults experiencing serious mental health issues.
So, I have that one. Mine goes a little bit more into detail. 1 in 10 younger people experience a period of major depression. 1 in 25 Americans live with a serious mental illness, such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or manic depressive.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. I mean, it's not at all surprising, though, unfortunately.
I really wonder what the statistics... That's what I was going to say. I wonder if mental health was a bigger thing back in the day.
Yeah.
What the numbers would have been like. Because through things like the plague and war...
Yeah.
Depression and anxiety had to have been sky high.
Yeah. Well, and one of my other facts on here is actually that anxiety and depression increased 33% since the pandemic started.
Oh, that I can believe.
Yeah.
So I think that we had talked about this before, and I had seen this on, I think, Facebook, but I think it's something really interesting to talk about, because just a quick little tidbit about me. I have been extremely anxious since I came out of my mother's womb. Just absolutely, I can remember being as young as 9 and having my first panic attack, being scared my mom was going to die. I didn't sleep over at a friend's house. I have always been ridden with just terrible anxiety. And as I grew up, my parents are really big into the news. And so they would obviously watch the news about when the bird flu was around, and then the pig flu. And I remember...
Pig flu.
Well, swine flu.
Well, yeah, but then they renamed it H1N1 because it was offensive. Well, like pig farmers and stuff took issue with it, I guess.
I mean, I understand.
Yeah.
I grew up, and then, of course, there was 9/11. I grew up just in this constant state of fear that I was going to get sick, that I was going to get killed, that something was going to happen to me or my family, just constant worry. And so when the pandemic started last year, I think that we had talked about this, that I wasn't even worried about getting COVID. It wasn't, of course I wore my mask, I washed my hands, I wasn't like actively trying to get it.
Right.
But I wasn't, and I wasn't scared to get it. And even though it's been this monumentous thing that's happened recently, it to me, it just felt like almost a nuisance. Like, oh, this is happening, we have to stay inside, which I know a lot of people felt like, but I feel like I reacted so calmly to it because I've been expecting it my whole life. Like something terrible to happen, it finally happens. I feel like people with really bad anxiety, when, I've talked about this before, when bad things have happened in my life, granted, I haven't always taken them well, but some more of the recent things that have happened, I've taken them a lot better than I would have 10 years ago. And I think that's just because I was so scared they were going to happen that when they did happen, it was like, okay, now I have to deal with it. So while I can see that maybe people who live just a regular day-to-day life and aren't scared of life and what's going to happen and the what ifs, I think for them, the anxiety definitely went up. And of course, people that lost their jobs, people that have family members get sick or pass away, of course, that's going to cause a lot of anxiety. But I think with people with anxiety already, it was kind of like, okay, well, I was already planning for this.
Right. Yeah.
How did you feel about the pandemic? Were you worried?
I think at first, like, people really weren't as worried about it because it seemed like just kind of one of those things that, like,
Would pass over?
Yeah, and then, as it started getting more serious, like, I did worry about it a little bit in the beginning. Then, as it, time went on, and, we're in pretty good health,
Right.
I think. So, I was a little bit worried about it in the beginning, and then just got, but
And then
honestly,
it dragged on.
Yes, but honestly, like, I'm a homebody as it is.
She is. It's very annoying.
So the fact that, like, we've had to stay inside for so long, like, really didn't bother me. I mean, I did kind of miss, like, a normalcy, like,
Right.
going out to the grocery store and not having, like, to wait in line and all that kind of stuff.
Or to make sure you didn't have your mask.
Yeah.
How many times did I walk into a store and forget my mask?
I know. And then it was so awkward because everybody else is, like, staring at
Right.
you. But honestly, like, I was talking to my mom yesterday about this, and I think one of the, like, only good things that came out of this was now, like, everything is online. And, like,
Yeah.
I really enjoy that.
See, I'm not an online shopper, so it doesn't...
Not just shopping, but, like, appointments.
Like telehealth. Okay.
Yeah, the telehealth.
I haven't seen...
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Well, your therapist.
Which therapist?
Well, either one you did.
I never met. I've had that psychiatrist for a year in April, and I never met her. I have no idea what she looks like. And then when I went to Virginia, I didn't know what...
Oh, you didn't do video chat?
We did do video. The one in Columbus, I just do over the phone, so I have no idea what she looks like. But the one in Virginia, I knew what she looked like.
Yeah.
But I think... I saw my doctor when I had that thing on my face.
Yeah.
So that was one time in a year and a half that I've seen a doctor.
Yeah. Well, I did, like, I had to see the doctor, and, like, Wes had to see the doctor, and we were able to do it, like, telehealth.
Yes. It's very convenient.
Yeah. Like, we had to do Judah's IEP renewal.
Oh, right.
Like, a couple of months ago. And, like, I always dread, like, having to go in there.
Right.
And, because it's just so, like... It's overwhelming because there's so many people there. Like, there's so much paperwork. And it was actually really nice to just be able to, like, zoom in.
I don't miss the IEP meetings.
Yeah. Yeah, they're stressful. So, like, being able to do it at home and, like, it
got, like, emailed to you, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They sent me everything before we did the meeting, so I was able to read through everything.
Those meetings are overwhelming.
Yeah, because usually you have to sit there and you have to read through
And
everything,
sign
and they read it to you.
Yes.
So, like, it was
And
literally...
then they ask you how you feel about it, and you're like, oh my god, it's 900 degrees in here. Can I get some coffee? This is dragging on.
Yeah. So, like, literally, it was like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
The director of his school texted me afterwards, and she was like, that was the quickest IEP meeting I've ever been in.
I just immediately went to shopping, because you are an online shopper, which we talked about that, but I'm not.
Right.
An online shopper.
But, like, now with the pandemic, all these stores and restaurants created, like, curbside. And, like, that's so nice, too. You could just get on and, like, go pick it up. I just love that part. So that's the only good part that came out of it.
So, yeah, the pandemic wasn't great.
No.
I can see why people's anxiety spiked up. Especially, my family never had a scare with... Well, I mean, I was really sick.
Your dad thought he had it.
And then I was really sick. And we weren't sure what was wrong with me.
Yeah. And we had one scare last summer.
Right.
Like, we were all sick.
Yeah.
Like, weirdly sick, but...
And she just got over getting sick.
Yeah.
And I was not convinced that she didn't have it. But this girl will not go to the doctor to save her life. I swear to God, she'll die from something that could have been prevented if she would have just gone to the doctor.
Well, no. Well, everybody else in my... household went to get tested because we were all sick. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the kids and Wes got tested.
That makes sense why you wouldn't then.
Yeah. So because my symptoms started after theirs did. So the kids
would have
got
had it
sick
first. Okay.
Yeah. Then they got tested and then Wes got sick and he got tested. So then when I got sick, it just,
Right, you didn't even bother getting tested. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, pandemic anxiety, I can definitely see.
For sure.
I didn't feel it.
Yeah, I think that even people who didn't previously have anxiety probably had some sort of anxiety.
Sure. Absolutely. Who is living in 2021 and not dealing with some sort of anxiety about something, anything, money, bills, relationships, kids, anything?
I agree. Because I have anxiety too, but like, not obviously in the sense that you do. Like, mine's like small stuff. Like, obviously, like parking
Right.
is like, I don't like tight spaces. I don't like to have to parallel park. Like, that causes me a lot of, like, I will Google Map a business. Like, if I schedule a doctor's appointment, before I even schedule that appointment, I will like look on the maps to see what their
I
parking
have a
lot
question
looks
for
like.
you. When you had that appointment downtown this week, did you have to parallel park?
Wes took me.
Oh, you cheated.
Yeah, because I was really worried about that because I didn't know where I would park. But actually, I might take myself next month because you can park in the banks and stuff after hours.
After hours, yeah.
Which I forgot about, and that's not usually busy in those areas. So, but yeah, I asked him to take me.
You are such a cheater.
I know.
Single life probs. I have to parallel park on my own.
Yeah, but you like driving over curbs.
Are you just going to tell everyone I'm a bad driver just like that?
You're not a bad driver. You like the curbs a lot.
I hug the curbs.
Yeah, you do.
Anyway, okay, so pandemic anxiety 33%.
Yes,
crazy.
Increase, yeah.
Hopefully that's gone down. I hope people feel a little more relaxed these days.
Yeah.
My fact was even very young children may show warning signs of mental illness. Half of all mental health disorders show first signs before a person turns 14 years old, and 3/4 of mental health disorders begin before 24. I find this really fascinating because, like I said earlier, now looking back, now that I'm an adult and I understand mental health and their illness is a lot better. I mean, I probably showed signs as early as 5, 6, had my first panic attack at 9, but I often wonder if my life would have turned out even just a little bit different had I've been diagnosed with a mental health disorder at a young age.
Sooner, yeah.
Because I was diagnosed with ADHD.
Right.
And while I still think that's something I battle with, that's definitely not up there of my concerns of things to treat.
Well, and I think about, we're in our 30s, so I feel like late 80s, early 90s, ADHD was like a really common diagnosis. And I know, like, just from doing research for this, that I did read that, like, it's misdiagnosed so much, especially, like, not, probably as much anymore because they've learned more, but yeah, I think
I've said this before, but I mean, whether I have ADHD or not, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm not in school. I don't work in a job where my concentration is necessary in extremes. But I have mentioned that I wonder if Henry doesn't have some sort of attention deficit disorder.
right.
But the big concern is that the first thing you want to do is medicate you.
Yeah.
And I was medicated when I was younger and I lost a bunch of weight. My parents said I didn't act like myself.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a way to kind of dull kids' shine.
Right. And I think it's also harmful because if you were misdiagnosed, then you don't need that medicine. And like, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it can have like the opposite
adverse
effect.
effects. Yeah. So let me ask you something. And I never even thought about asking this, so I'm kind of proud of myself for thinking about it right now. But so as we've talked about, Judah is autistic,
right?
Nonverbal.
Yes.
If there was a medication to, I don't want to say fix it because there's nothing wrong with him. But if there was a medicine out there to treat his autism, would you give it to him?
I don't know. I think
it goes person to person. So don't try and speak for every autistic parent, just for yourself.
Yeah. I guess it's possible that I would consider it.
Right.
I mean, I think like depending on, what it is, like I probably want to do a lot of research
of course.
Because the long-term effects, but I think it's something that I would definitely consider. And I mean, we've done things like the more natural route, like we did the CBD oil, and then we do probiotics, which is the Nemechek protocol.
Oh yeah, I put Henry on that for a little bit, but I didn't see any real.
Yeah, and it takes a while, I think, you know.
He loved
And,
how it tasted, though.
yeah, the whole Nemechek protocol is just theory.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just a doctor's theory. So it's nothing that's like proven.
Scientifically.
Yeah, because it's all natural stuff. You know, why not try a natural thing if you can, I guess.
I think parents are desperate at the very least to help their children. And I think that's what there is this huge conception that parents put their kids on Ritalin or Adderall to calm them down. But I think the parents that are just trying to help their children too are often overlooked and just automatically put into that category,
right.
where they're just trying to make their kid shut up for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I do feel like my parents kind of fell under that category. I was the last kid and they didn't know what the hell to do with me.
Right.
So they just did whatever a doctor told them.
Said, yeah.
Which, you know, no hate to them. I would do the same exact thing if I had 3 older kids and this one came out all fucking weird.
Well, and especially like if a doctor is telling you something,
of course.
Like, you know, you're supposed to be able to
And again, this was early
them.
90s,
right?
Where there's nowhere to do research other than maybe a pamphlet they gave you that who knows who wrote it up in the first place.
Right. And I don't think at that point they probably knew the different kind of effects that it could have, plus chemicals.
And this is a lot of why I wanted to talk about this, is because having a mental health issue, illness, maybe it's just a short stint and you're just dealing with some anxiety. Maybe you're just depressed because you're going through a divorce. I don't know. But I mean, there are a lot of factors to put into why someone feels the way that they do. And it's not always clinically that something is wrong.
Right.
But it's so fucking taboo to not feel like yourself. Like, even still, it's... and to medicate for it. I mean, I've had people tell me that when I was on Ativan, it seemed like I was half asleep. Yeah. And it's so crazy to me because if that's how I have to be to feel like I can even leave my house, I mean, you're just making me feel worse by telling me that I'm basically a zombie. Like,
right.
I don't know. It's so taboo because, like, especially my parents, they think I'm on too many medications, which I will be happy to know that I am only on 3 medications.
Yeah.
And it used to be about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So
I personally feel like, especially since you got the newest diagnosis and like she like switched you up and took you off some, I feel like I can see a difference. Like I feel like you're
we had to do a podcast for you to give me a compliment. Thank you.
No, but like I feel like your whole demeanor is different now. I mean, obviously you're still going to go through, you know, your spouts and stuff like that. But like, I just feel like overall.
Love ya. Thank you. That's so sweet. That's the best compliment you can give someone.
Well, do you feel like your quality of life is like improved a little bit since switching? And maybe even just not even switching, but just getting this diagnosis. Because when you were diagnosed with bipolar, like, I know you questioned that.
For sure.
And, like, because we had conversations about that before, and, like, that was something that you questioned. So maybe even just getting this diagnosis was, like, kind of a relief. Like,
it was because, so I was first diagnosed. There are 2 types of bipolar. I was first diagnosed with type 2, which is, they both deal with hypermania. Bipolar 2 is what I took as the more relaxed one. And then I had one psychiatrist who, I hope she's burning in hell now, put me on Adderall, and that made me manic for months.
Yes.
And I wasn't sleeping or eating, and I was doing
rash decisions.
Terrible. You're being polite. They were awful decisions.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was because of that.
See, and so it kind of comes out to where if you don't have issues where you need Adderall, mania is the side effect that you can get from it.
Okay.
So if I did have, I'm not saying that's for everyone. I'm not saying I do or don't have ADHD. But if I did, I don't think it would have been as extreme as it was. So it was not like I was hyper. Things were fun. Things were fucking awful.
Right.
So I was diagnosed with bipolar type 1 because I was manic and, just out of my mind, pat shit crazy. And then it progressed back to bipolar type 2. I've come to the conclusion that I don't think, while I know I've experienced mania before and it comes in forms of not sleeping, I never experienced, I read a lot of autobiographies and memoirs about people with mental health, and I've never experienced the kind of mania other than when I was on Adderall. Adderall was a different time, but I never experienced true mania in the way that other people describe it.
Right.
So I didn't feel like it, I haven't felt like that suited me for the last couple of years. And then again, I made some poor decisions, and one of my close friends had told me that she thought I might have borderline. And I was like, I honestly thought borderline personality disorder meant you had multiple personalities.
Yeah, me too, actually.
It sounds like that.
Yeah.
Like you're struggling. But when I looked into it, I was like, wow, the impulsivity, being so fucking impulsive. I mean,
Right.
it's just out of this world. And detachment issues with people leaving me. I mean, I fear you're going to leave me all the goddamn time, and it's overwhelming and it doesn't make sense.
Well, I think that probably got worse after your divorce,
right.
too. I mean,
yeah.
that a divorce, I think in general, would take a toll on anybody.
Absolutely. Regardless if they're happy or not.
Right, yeah.
Losing someone that's been in your life for a long time.
Yeah,
is
regardless
hard.
of circumstances.
Right. And that's also the other thing that's really interesting about myself, and all of my psychiatrists have told me this, that I'm very self-aware, and I would absolutely agree with that. But there is a double-edged sword to being self-aware, because while I realize, not necessarily in the moment that my decision is poor, but afterwards I will realize it was a bad decision, then I wonder, is this mental health decision, or am I just fucking stupid? I wonder these things all the time. Is it really anxiety, or am I just a pussy? What is I need to know, what is it? What is it really about me? Is it a mental health problem, or is it just how my brain is made up and I'm just a big scaredy cat?
I mean,
these are questions that keep me up at night.
I mean, at this point, it's, your mental health taking over, but I think that, I think a lot of times, searching for your next chapter in life, I guess.
I think that
that kind of
I think that's the hardest pressure to put on someone our age.
Yeah.
Is that they should have life figured out by now.
Right.
Because when I was 21, I had life figured out. I was married.
Right.
We were obviously going to have kids.
Yeah.
He had a paycheck coming.
Right.
We knew what we wanted in the future, and then that all went to shit. And I find myself as a single mom.
You had to start back from zero.
And I mean, a lot of people don't know what they want. And we come from these generations where you get married young, you have kids young, you take care of your husband and your kids until you fucking die.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of people start, their lives over even later than what you have to. And, it is possible. It takes time. And
I just think that's what sucks the most about society, is telling us what we should be doing.
Yeah.
I think that fucks with our minds the most, because if you've got it figured out, great. But what if it doesn't work out?
Right.
And people don't always think, I sure shit wasn't thinking,
right.
What if it doesn't? What's my backup plan?
What am I gonna do? Yeah.
Yeah. If I would have had a backup plan, I can guarantee you right now, I wouldn't be here.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that's,
we're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl. You taught me that song.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's the fucked up thing about just society with everything.
Yeah.
You have to look like this.
Gender
you have
rules.
to do this.
Yeah.
You have to be this size and this height. And all of that shit is, ingrained in our brains, no matter how much we're fuck society, what they say. One of the other facts that I had on here, at last count, there were about 45,000 psychiatrists in the U.S., which translates to about 9 psychiatrists per 100,000 Americans.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And
that would explain why I can't get a hold of mine.
Yes, and I have actually been hearing about this. I've heard about this, people talking about having a hard time finding a psychiatrist or a therapist right now, especially during the pandemic. And a lot of people are having trouble, getting in
That
to
is
see
scary
one.
as fuck.
Yeah, and especially because right now, because of the pandemic, more people are trying to
Right.
get in to see them.
Right.
You know, people, I was reading that, like, they make an appointment and they're like, okay, see you in 2 months.
Right.
And it's like, you know, you don't need help in 2 months.
Right.
You need help now.
Right. Yeah. Remember when I scheduled that therapist appointment? It was 2 months away. And you were like, what the fuck are you going to do? We had no idea.
You don't need it in 2 months.
No. By then you've talked yourself out of all your problems. You've made new ones.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's, again, that would explain why I can't get a hold of mine. I need medication refill and I cannot get a hold of them. That actually makes me also really feel bad for psychiatrists and
they're probably
those practicing
super overwhelmed
and overworked and underpaid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like that goes back to what we were talking about. Mental health wasn't a big thing 50 years ago.
Right.
You know, when my maternal grandmother went to a psychiatric hospital and they treated her like she was a criminal.
Right.
Just like, for having some issues.
Right.
Not even severe issues, just issues.
Yeah.
It surprises me and it doesn't, because I don't know, you are the sanest person I know. But other than that, everyone I know could benefit from seeing a counselor, a therapist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, anyone.
Yeah, I mean, even if I am sane, air quotes, I just feel like, I feel like I could probably benefit from it too. Like, anyone. I just feel like everyone could.
Absolutely. That is a stressful situation.
And I didn't write this one down, and I really wish I would have, because I had read something about, like, postpartum, and, you know, it's, like, super common. And, like, how you were talking about your grandma and stuff, like, it was probably super common back then, too. And, you know, they didn't look twice at it. So there was all of these, like, new moms struggling, and they didn't know anything about it. Or
they just thought they were fucking crazy. Yeah. Yeah. So the mental health in general has just, it's a great thing that it's become what it is. But like I said, people still struggle with wrapping their heads around it.
Yeah. Well, this is, like, my last fact, but it kind of plays into what you were saying, but the average delay between symptom onset and treatment is 11 years.
That would fall almost exactly in line with mine. If I was 9 and I didn't get treated till I was 23, that would be almost exactly 11 years.
Hopefully, now that we've progressed a lot with mental health, hopefully that time gap can close. Shrink significantly.
Well, I mean, that's why Henry has a therapist, because I was so worried that he was going to grow up with issues, which I'm not saying he's not going to, but I feel like the sooner the communication is there for kids to talk about issues that bother them, bullying, any anxiety. I mean, kids growing up these days have to have an immense amount of anxiety. It's not even like it was when we were kids.
Yeah.
I mean, girls feel more pressured to be sexualized and need to look good. And then boys, of course, if they have emotions, they're told to suck it the fuck up.
Right.
So, I mean, to be a kid these days would be incredibly hard. It's not as fun as it once was.
No, and I feel like, you know, it was a little bit hard as when we were kids, like, you know, to our kid brains. I mean, now, especially when we were little, like, we didn't really have social media. I mean, that kind of started, like, when ICQ and AIM started.
And then,
when we were, AIM. Like, 13 or something. Yeah. So, but, like, now all of the social media and, like, TikTok's so popular, like, with kids and stuff, and, like, there's some crazy shit on there.
I can't imagine,
like,
trying to grow up with these other 13 or 14-year-old girls looking like fucking models.
Yeah.
And me just being a Midwest girl.
Right.
Rocking some hand-me-downs.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is, like, when we were kids, it was just, like,
new lip gloss was, like, if you had new lip gloss, like, you were the popular girl.
And you only saw, like, magazine covers with, like, celebrities and stuff, which obviously, you know, you'd be envious of. Like, oh, man, she's so skinny, why can't I be? But, yeah, you didn't see, like, average, everyday people, like,
and now you do, and they look like fucking models.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm jealous of 13-year-olds these days.
I know. Like, sometimes I see, like, kids on TikTok, and they're like, first of all, I don't think that anybody's parents should be letting them do certain things, like bikinis, like, and 13-year-olds.
Crazy makeup.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, obviously, we all know that there's, like, sick people in this world. And you can't tell me that there aren't sick people
out
logging
there
on to TikTok just to
posing
see these
as
young
kids.
girls. Yeah.
Dancing.
Like, that really scares me. I mean, I'm kind of glad I don't have a girl because...
That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, I have 2 nieces and they both love makeup, and my oldest niece she's really into, I wouldn't say she's not like into like crop tops, but she's not shy about showing skin either.
Right.
And it really worries me because I mean, I know everyone says this about either their niece, their child, whatever, but she is very, very beautiful. Long blonde hair, blue eyes, very, very beautiful. Like, it scares me. Like, I just walked down with them to the gas station a block away from my house, and I was thinking, I don't have enough arms to protect these girls. They were just wearing cute little nightgowns and flip-flops, and my biggest fear was, what am I going to do if some guy comes up? There's not enough of me to protect these 2.
Yeah. My niece plays Roblox, and she stayed with us like last week, and I was telling her, like, you know, if somebody's asking you for your name or anything like that, like, do not give anybody any kind of information like about yourself. Like, if you have to make something up, but like, and especially like Roblox does creep me out a little bit because they get hacked so much. And
yeah, Henry loves Roblox too.
Yeah. And then the chats are like crazy on there.
Can she read really well?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, Henry can't read, so he knows the bad words, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a scary fucking world.
Yeah.
That's the consensus for this episode, is that it's a scary fucking world. And if you're having a hard time dealing with it, you're not alone. My last fact, it is personal to me, so I thought it would be interesting to read this. I don't personally know anyone with borderline personality disorder, which makes it a little difficult to discuss it with my friends who have only the knowledge that Google has given them. But
hey, Google can be your friend.
I Google it. Oh my gosh. Don't look at my Google search list. If I died tomorrow.
Ooh, we should do that one time.
No, I can't. Okay. So I read from my search was that borderline personality disorder is considered the most difficult to treat. That is because it is a pattern of ongoing instability in moods, behavior, self-image, and functioning. So I didn't, it's not like I didn't want to print like a whole paragraph off to read, but
didn't we read, like, when you first got diagnosed, I'm pretty sure your psychiatrist told you too, and like we read about it later, but it's usually like over time
it gets
lessens.
better. Yeah. That's what my other friend who told me, who works in mental health, she said that it tends to start getting better in the 30s. Again, I'm not sure where I fall. To say it's going to get better is a great hope of mine. I'm not entirely optimistic for that outcome because I don't want to be let down if I'm a grandma and I'm still dealing with these same kind of feelings and issues. So I try to not think too hard about it getting better and just one day waking up and it will be better.
Yeah. Well, I think over time, like, you'll start learning how to manage it.
Right.
And then, as if it is proven that it does get better as you get older, then so you'll learn coping skills over time, and then you'll be able to
therapy is a big thing. Therapy and medication. All right. Well, to wrap up this somewhat heavy, it was a lot more laid back than I thought it was going to be. I was a little bit worried I'd get in my feelings and start crying, but we did good.
Too deep.
No. But to end this, we are going to, I'm not even sure, what is this game called?
So it's called Go Retro.
Okay.
And it's basically just all retro questions. Like, I think it's like 60s, 70s, 80s,
okay,
90s.
Let me think. It's just cards. Let
2000s.
Me read one.
It's all that retro.
Is 2000s considered retro?
Yeah, because it said it on the box. It said 2000s.
But that was just like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I got it at TJ Maxx, so yell at them.
Who buys games at TJ Maxx?
Oh, I love TJ Maxx.
Ugh, I hate TJ Maxx. Don't sponsor us because I don't like you. Your stores are always too dirty.
What?
They're so messy.
I mean, yeah.
You don't feel claustrophobic in there?
No, but I always feel like the employees are rude. Like, every TJ Maxx that I've ever been to, like, I've been to...
I hope there's no TJ Maxx employees listening.
Sorry. If you're nice, sorry. No, but I just, like... I've been to several TJ Maxx or like Marshalls or whatever. I just feel like they're always rude.
Have you been to a Marshalls?
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to a Marshalls.
Yeah, we went to one like Upper Ohio.
Upper Ohio?
Yeah.
So her husband picked these out.
Yeah, so we couldn't see.
Yeah. He really, really underestimates how...
What you know?
Wait, maybe I said that wrong. Overestimates how stupid we are.
Oh, okay.
Because this one is incredibly easy. And if you don't get this right, I'm leaving your house right now.
Okay.
What color were the bathing suits worn by the lifeguards in the TV series Baywatch?
Red.
Ugh.
Can't forget that.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so
now I'm going to get a hard one.
Mine is a picture.
Okay.
So this is kind of, I guess, a decoration piece that you would put...
Mona Lisa.
Yeah. You put the Mona Lisa in your bedroom, wherever. No, this was really popular in like late 90s, early 2000s. I had one of these. I don't know.
Oh, is it one of those the 3D posters?
No.
Oh.
I don't know if you had one. You plug it in.
Oh. Okay, you plug it in.
It's
a poster?
No,
or
it's not a poster.
Did I just make that up?
Yeah, you just asked if it was a 3D poster, and I said no. What kind of poster were you plugging in?
I wasn't big on
plugging
posters,
in your hand,
unless it was half naked men.
Oh yeah, Abercrombie.
That's fucked up. Anyway,
I mean, do you want another hint?
Does it seem like I know what you're talking about?
Okay, it gets hot.
A lava lamp.
Yes.
Wow, that took way too long for me to figure out.
Well, I don't think I was.
I thought it was a poster.
Yeah.
Why did you say it was? You said it was a decorative piece. A lava lamp. It's not for decorations.
Yeah.
It's for you to look at when you get stoned.
Well. Okay, I was like 10 years old and I had one. Obviously,
she was
I wasn't
getting stoned
yet.
Yet. Okay, I have a picture.
Okay.
You have one of these in your house.
Okay.
Okay.
A kitchen.
Yes, it's a picture of a whole kitchen.
Okay, cool.
It's a toy.
Okay.
Judah doesn't play with it.
Okay.
It's for your older boys. It's like a puzzle.
Ooh, a Rubik's Cube.
Good job.
Yeah.
See, now that's how you describe shit.
Well, I'm sorry. Okay. This one is... Oh, man. I'm trying to think how to describe this. Why do you get all the easy ones? Damn you. You get all the easy ones.
Hippo.
Hip hop? Hip hop anomalous? Okay. So this
We
is...
really are showing our age.
Yeah. So this is an activity
Okay.
of sorts. It was definitely popular in the 90s. You have to have skill to do this. I don't know if you can do this or not. I can't. But you wear this while you're doing the activity. You wear this item.
You wear it and it's a skill?
Yeah, it's definitely a skill because I cannot do it.
You wear it.
Mhm.
What color is it?
They can be any color.
You wear it.
Yeah.
It's a skill.
You wear it while you're doing this activity. You have to, or you can't do the activity.
Condom.
No.
Oh.
No, like you cannot possibly do the activity without this item.
Without wearing this?
Yeah. They had, in the 90s, I don't know if they still do. Well, yeah, they probably still do, but in some places, but they had a lot of businesses that were specifically for this activity. In the 90s, it was really popular.
Can't wear it. I can't do it without wearing it.
Yeah.
90s. Stores dedicated to this?
Businesses, yeah. Like activity places dedicated to this.
I have no idea.
Okay, it has wheels.
What?
It has wheels. It has 4 wheels. Okay,
Rollerblades?
Yeah, roller skates, yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, rollerblades is like one straight line. It's a blade, and then roller skates have 4 a piece.
I hope you get a hard one. Okay, who wrote the Goosebumps book series?
R.L. Stein.
God damn it. Fuck off. I probably would not have gotten that.
Okay, this is a question. What kind of tips would you have if you had short, spiky, bleached hair?
What do you mean, what kind of
Oh, okay, so like NSYNC always had
bleach tips?
Tips. Yeah, but they were called something in the 90s.
Spikes?
No. Like Justin Timberlake, you know.
Yeah. I'm picturing it.
Yeah.
I can only have eyes for Lance Bass. I'm thinking of
yeah,
a baby.
Lance Bass, for sure. It's called, I mean, it's a bleached tip, yeah, but it's called...
They had a name for it?
Yeah. Yeah, and as soon as you hear this, you're going to be like, oh,
a name for it. Give me a hint. What's it start with?
An F.
French tips?
No.
Oh, F.
F.
What's the second letter?
R.
It's not French tips?
No. Okay, here, I'll give you a hint. This has no relevance to it, but it just has the word in it.
Okay.
Flakes are more...
Frosted?
Yeah, frosted tips.
Oh.
You don't remember
Vaguely.
frosted tips?
That reminds me of my brother when he tried to have frosted tips, but I didn't know like that was like the thing.
Yeah, they called them frosted.
Okay. Oh,
Frosty.
okay. So it's a picture.
Okay.
It was something that if you got for your birthday, normally your older sibling would get for their birthday, and because your parents didn't like you as much as they liked your older siblings, shout out to Pam and Dave for getting Beth one of these and not me. This was before CDs.
Okay, a cassette player.
No, you wear it on your shoulder.
A purse.
No, it plays music, but you wear it on your shoulder.
A boombox.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did she wear hers on the shoulder?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
I still remember that fucking birthday when she got that boombox. I was so mad.
Oh my gosh. What was the name of everybody's default first friend on MySpace?
I can see his... Tom. Is it Tom?
Tom, yes, it's Tom.
Did he have a last name? Or was it just Tom?
I think it was just Tom, yeah. He was always online, too.
He was with the whiteboard and going...
Yeah.
That guy was creepy. I wonder what he's up to these days. Probably rich as fuck.
So, this is a picture.
Okay.
And we were literally just talking about this like 2 hours ago.
Okay.
And we were talking about how they've come back in style.
Fanny packs.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to do the last one.
Last one. Let's hope I get it.
It's a picture.
Okay.
It's a toy.
Okay.
Henry loves it.
Okay.
Gets it tangled.
Stretch Armstrong.
I forgot when he was obsessed with that. Didn't you have to buy him his first one? Yeah. Who had... Caleb had one?
Yeah, I think Caleb had one and he liked it.
He was obsessed with it. And then we had to buy him one. Yeah. No, but that's a really good choice. Okay. But it gets tangled.
Okay. A slinky.
Good job. You are good at this game.
I love a slinky, but my God, they get tangled so quickly.
Yeah. I have spent way too much money on them.
Once it's tangled, it's like...
It's untangable.
Yeah. Untangable. 100% untangable. Okay, so that wraps
That was a fun episode.
It was informative.
We're getting a little bit better here.
Yeah.
A little less awkward.
Yes. Hopefully our audio is better as well.
Oh, gosh.
We're trying.
Thank you for listening this week. We hope you enjoyed it and definitely learned a few things. If not, at least you learned a little bit more about Corrin and I. We hope you enjoyed the game. If you did, let us know. We'll play it again.
Yes. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we are
now on YouTube.
Yes.
We are on YouTube.
So
19 nights.
You can listen, watch.
Yes. What? Listen, watch?
Yeah.
We will be doing video eventually.
Eventually, yes.
But we have to find a setup.
Yes.
One day.
And get better at the whole...
Yeah. Well, you got to get better at producing.
Well, yeah. Hey, I'm a good producer.
You got to work for that 5%.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for listening. 19 nights.